All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to this special leadership call with Gerry Roberts. For those that don't know Gerry, he is an author of The Millionaire Mindset on how ordinary people create extraordinary income with a book he published to grow rich. He's earned, as I mentioned, over $300 million and one of the 20th highest paid speakers in the world. So if you haven't already grabbed a pen and a paper, make sure you do so because you're going to get a lot of great information from somebody who's been through all the struggles and challenges. He's also opened up for Tony Robbins all over the world, speaks right before him, and not just for Tony, but also Robert Kiyosaki. I'm sure you guys all know he wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, also the four cash flow quadrants, and he's also spoken for Richard Branson, Les Brown, just to name a few. His biggest accomplishments that he's been married to the same woman, yay, for 42 years. Mazel tov, what a blessing. So we can also get marriage advice for those that are married or want to be married. And he is the best grandfather on the planet to his grandchildren. So without further ado, Gerry Robert, thank you so much for being here, my friends. I'm so excited to learn from you, and I will turn it over to you, sir. Oh, you're muted.
Now you
There you
hear
go.
me, right? Well, hey, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I am thrilled to spend this time with you. I signed up for Viago probably like in April, but it was like a Wednesday, and the following Thursday, I came to my first ever Viago conference. And Melanie, oddly enough, was one of the first people to ever greet me. I don't know if you remember this, Melanie, or not, but you were just bubbly as always, and I was impressed by well, first of all, you just made me feel really good, welcomed, and then I've subsequently seen you. You're a giver, and that's great. I'm happy to come and share, and I was thrilled when you asked me to come and share some ideas. And is everything good? Now you can see my screen. It says 9 motivational laws. Yes.
Yes, sir. We
Uh,
see it.
okay, you got all right. Well, Melanie is right. You know, Viago is a fantastic opportunity, but when I joined, I really wasn't looking for any opportunity. I've had the pleasure of speaking all over the world. Um, I opened, opened for every one of these people. Now, my wife says that some people say I'm from Canada. Some people say I should remove one person there, but I'm from Canada, and I've had the pleasure of being the keynote speaker right before all of these celebrity speakers and traveling the world. And as Melanie mentioned, I've been really blessed, man. I mean, I've had a lot of financial success and being able to achieve my dreams. But it wasn't always that way, you know. Uh, this is my childhood home. That's what I grew up in. Do you know my parents couldn't even provide the basics of life, like food and shelter, without government help? Like the government had to pay for food for my family, man. And so, you know, for me to be here today talking to you about motivation or success is quite unusual. But that's because something that happened to me when I met this guy. Some of you know him, Bob Proctor from the movie The Secret. He asked me one question and he made two statements. His first question to me was, how much is the most amount of money you've ever made in a single year? And if you know Bob Proctor at all, he pretty much asked everybody that question. He wanted to get a read in terms of what was going on in your head because he said that the money you have is in direct correlation to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty that would be to replace you. And so he always wanted to get a sense of where people were at. Well, that one question and two statements like put me on a whole new course of life, man. I told him back then because I had written a book. My first book was called Conquering Life's Obstacles. I apparently could sit on air back then And I'd written this book. And when he asked me how much I'd made, I told him somewhat arrogantly, I think, that I had earned $100,000. See, I thought I was a big shot because nobody in my family had made 100,000. None of my friends had made 100,000. And so I thought that was a big deal until he made the first of two statements. His first statement to me was, 100 grand? That's garbage. And I thought, what? What are you talking about? I got kicked out of school when I was 15. I told him I grew up in poverty. Like everybody in my family were alcoholics, drug addicts, or criminals. And that's exactly where I was heading when on September 6th, 1977, that's 46 years ago this week or last week, uh, I turned my life around because I got mentors. And I told him when his first thing to me was, uh, his first statement, he asked me a question, how much have I made? I told him 100,000. And then he made the first statement. The first statement was, that's garbage. And he finished that statement by saying, it's garbage for you to make that much in a year if you could make that much in a month. In a month. Shut up. I thought, man, and I'm from Toronto, and I don't know if it's a Toronto thing or a guy thing or whatever it is, but when somebody shared an idea that was absurd to me, I had to challenge it. And so I gave him every reason in the world why I could never earn $100,000 in a month. I was working like a dog to make 100,000 in a year. And he's telling me I could do this in a month. I get out of here. But if you know who Bob Proctor is, and he was the star of the movie The Secret, he eventually became my business partner. And I think I earned somewhere around $18 million because I'm the guy who did all the marketing for the movie The Secret as it related to Bob Proctor. And he think he paid me about $18 million to help him. If you bought a DVD, chances are it was from a funnel that I created, the website that I created, the emails. Uh, and so this guy always challenged my thinking. And I told him I was young at that time. When I met him, I was in my mid or late 20s. I told him that even though I was bringing in 100, it was costing me 125 to get it. Some of you know what I'm talking about, man. I was living on credit cards. And I'm telling him every reason why I could never earn $100,000 in a year. And he said something really interesting. I learned later. He said, what you argue for, you get to keep. You see, I told him that there's no way I could make you're sitting here thinking, there's no way, Melanie, I could ever become a black diamond in Viago. I hardly know anybody. I've tried this now. This is the 42nd MLM I joined. What you argue for, you get to keep. If you think you can't do it, you know what? You're right. And so I'm telling him every reason why I could never earn 100,000 in a month. And then the guy made the second statement. It was worse than the first. As I'm giving him every reason why I could never do it. We're in a recession. I'm brand new in business. I've never met anybody who made that kind of money. And as I'm telling him every reason why I could never do it, make 100,000 in a month, he made the second statement, and it was this. He looked at me right in the eye and he said to me, "You are a jerk." Hey, listen, if you just meet somebody and they call your income garbage and you a jerk in the first 5 minutes of meeting them, it's either going to be a pretty brief meeting or maybe you should shut up and listen. I thought to myself, what if he's right? Not about the jerk part. Okay, I knew I wasn't a jerk, but I thought, what if it was possible to make every month? Not even every month, just 1 month. How many of you'd like to make in 1 month what you made all last year? Well, I realized, and he said to me, listen, I don't mean to be disrespectful. He said, Gerry, but I've been making that kind of money and more for over 25 years. My story's every bit as sad as yours. I'm telling you, you can do it, and you won't even entertain the idea. Anybody, he said, who summarily dismisses an idea without really grappling with it, that person isn't thinking. And I've been put on this planet to wake people up, and you need to be woken up. And I thought, oh my goodness. So I never believed that I could earn 100,000 in a month, but I could see he did. He believed that I could do it, and that's what I grabbed onto. You see, that's the good thing about Melanie. She's done great things in her past, and she may see things in you that you can't see. You see, a mentor person like Melanie, it's like a ladder, right? And so she's a few rungs up higher on the ladder. She's no better than you. She's no worse than you, but she may be a few rungs on the ladder up on the ladder, and the higher up you are, the more you can see. You can see more if you're higher up, and that's what a good mentor does. And I just realized, look at he had a result that I wanted, and I decided, even though I didn't believe I could do it, I could see he believed that I could do it, and I said to him, if you're willing to help me, I'll do anything you tell me. And I meant it. You see, I knew I was destined for more than the 100,000 a year. I knew I didn't come this far to only go this far. I knew that at some point it had to be my turn. You see, a mentor shaves decades into days. And so I said to him, if you're willing to help me, I'll do everything you asked me to do. And let me tell you something. In this business, like in every other business, um, people talk, and talk is cheap. I wasn't going to talk. If he told me to read a chapter in a book 3 times, I'd read it 30 times. If he told me to attend an online Zoom, I was there, first one there. I was the last one to leave. I just knew that he had something that I wanted. He was willing to help me, and I would do anything to get what was inside his head. It's the same thing with Viago. I love Viago because it's full of mentors who've been through a lot of stuff. Now, they're not the world's best. They're not the biggest. They may not be helpful to everybody, but I'll tell you something. Melanie's paid dearly for what's inside that lady's head. I'll tell you that. If you ever talk to her, you'll know. And a mentor has paid dearly for what they have learned, and they can shave decades into days for you. So I said to him, tell me what I got to do. And you know what he did? He started working on my belief system. You know what the result was? Hey, within 12 months, 12 to 14 months, I was making every month what I used to earn every year. I started to make over $1 million a year in my 20s, man. And I've since made that much in a month. 1 million in a month, 1 million in a week. And there has been several days when I earned over 1 million. Listen, there have been 5 seminars that I did where I earned over 1 million. Now, listen, look at me here. I'm not telling you that to brag, okay? I'm not. Well, a little bit I am. I'm telling you that because I'm the guy who got kicked out of school when I was 15. I grew up with parents with nothing, but I had a mentor, and I just decided to do everything he told me. Bob Proctor's main philosophy is this. This is the thing he's most known for. He said that the mind is a powerful magnet, a magnet, and as such attracts whatever corresponds to its ruling state. So if your ruling state is, and I'll just tell you this, if your ruling state is, oh, Viago's tough. I mean, network marketing, man, you got to be there's no way I could ever get a black diamond. See, what you think about, you bring about. See, if you got nothing else out of this whole thing, understand that the core of Bob Proctor's message is that statement right there. Your mind is a powerful magnet. It's a magnet. It draws things. Isn't that the whole message of the movie, The Secret? Everything on the planet vibrates, and things that are in harmony vibrate at the same frequency, and they're attracted to each other. You see, when I went to my first Viago conference, uh, uh, just a few months ago, I met Melanie at that first business opportunity meeting. It's the first business opportunity meeting I'd been to. And when I got there, oh, 1 second. Can you still see my slides? No? Yes? No. Can you see my
No, not
slides?
the slide. Not yet.
Okay,
Not anymore.
let me just go back. So when I 1 second, I'll just go here like this. When I met her, uh, Do you know, I knew instant. Have you ever met somebody and you just meet them, and in the first 5 seconds, you realize I'm going to be friends with that person for the rest of my life? See, I felt that way about her. Why? She was beaming from ear to ear. She was powerful woman. She was extremely generous and kind to me as a newcomer. I'd never been to a network marketing conference before. I had never, I mean, I'd been before, but I was the featured speaker. I'd never been myself to a thing. And so, you know why I felt that we would be friends forever? Because we are on the same frequency. And things that are on the same frequency are attracted to one another. And so I felt that way about her. And so when she asked me to come a few weeks ago to share with you, I said, for sure. But have you ever met somebody and within the first 5 seconds you realize, get away from me. I need to take a shower. I don't, you know why? Because you're on a different frequency. Um, I've met so many wonderful people. I met Jennifer at the conference who've been through some tough times, man. And she was beaming, beaming, beaming because she's learning to draw upon and let other people help you. That's the value of a mentor. And so, what I want to talk to you about today, I want to talk to you about what it takes to stay motivated over the long term. Because, you know, we're doing Viago, and I mean, don't let anybody tell you that this is a cakewalk. It's not a cakewalk. It's a business, and it's a tough one at that. And so, what I want to do, just one second here, you can see my slides. I'm going to
Yes,
get rid
sir.
of them. Yeah, one second. I just got to get rid of this one little thing. Um, so what I'd like you to do while I'm fixing this, could you just all take out a pen and piece of paper, and I want you to write 1 to 9, just 1 to 9, all the way down. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I am going to, at the end, after you get these questions, we're going to do an assessment on where you're at. So question number one says, let me go here. Um, Question number one says, um, motivation, sorry, motivational law number one says that motivation, once established, never lasts. Like you can go to a conference, get all pumped up, but it never lasts. There's no such thing as something staying forever because you're either moving towards your goal or you're moving away from them. You're either growing or you're dying. There's no sense in which things will always stay the same, especially with motivation. You know, people go to a conference, they get a Zoom, maybe they buy a launch pack, maybe they attend an escape, they feel all great, and they wonder why 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, they just don't seem to have that fire anymore. Well, when you understand that motivation never lasts, then you become quite concerned about how do you keep it going. Well, you keep it going by playing in the game. You know, Garth Brooks had a song like "Standing Outside the Fire." There's no joy in standing outside the fire. You've heard people say, "Yes, we buried Martha today at 83, but she actually died when she was 64." You know, because she was approaching retirement, gave up the ghost, and did nothing. You see, motivation never lasts. So there's a reason why we take a shower every day. And so the question that I want to ask you right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how is your motivation right now? One being, I'm not sure I could even handle another 20 minutes of this guy talking to me. Or 10 is, man, I'm on fire and I'm ready to go and I'm going to pass this light on to other people. So on a scale of 1 to 10, for question number one, where are you at right now? And I'm not going to look at these answers. So you just be real honest. The second law of motivation is that only musts get done. It's only when you say, that's it. I am not giving up this one. I am not putting up with that anymore. If it's a must, it gets done. So I wrote a book called Publish a Book and Grow Rich. I've helped thousands of people publish books. How many of you here have ever wanted to write a book? Let me see your hands. Anybody? Anybody ever thought about writing a book? Okay. Some of you've been thinking about it for 20 years. 20 years. You know why you haven't got the book? Because it's not a must. It's just a wish, it's a dream, but you don't get your dreams, you don't get your goals, you get those things that you insist on. Like, let me just show you this. If you like, just take the book example because I'm familiar with that one. If you really want to get that book done, here's what you do. You take $10,000 and give it to somebody, $10,000 and give it to somebody and say, if my book is not finished in 90 days, you keep the 10 grand. Do you think the book's going to get written? You know it's going to get written. Why? Because you gave the money, and if you don't finish the book, that money's gone. Now, I'd be happy to be that person if you want to send 10 grand. I'm happy to hold you accountable like that. But you know why? Why does it change? Because you make it a must. If Viago is more than just a little hobby, making a few bucks here and there, if what you really want is to become a sapphire, or even if it's just getting your club 6 done, or if it's going right to the top, like Melanie and many of us are 100% committed to becoming a black diamond within the first 12 to 24 months of us being in this company. If it's a must, if it's a real must, you will do anything. You will never give up. You're not gonna get up, pack it in because some negative broke knucklehead on YouTube said some bad things about Viago. You're not going to give up because there's competition. You're not going to give up because the computer didn't do something, If it's a must, you will make it happen. So the question for question number 2 is, what's your must score today in terms of your goals within Viago? Whatever you want to achieve in the short term or the long term, how much of a must is, what I mean by that is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed, irreversibly committed to making this thing happen are you? 1 is, well, if it happens, it happens. 10 is, you just try and stop me. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at right now? Number 3, motivation requires commitment. If you want to stay motivated, you gotta get in the game, man. Look at what William Murray said. One of my favorite quotes ever. Until one is committed, until one's what? Committed. Until one is committed, there's hesitancy. The chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Look at this. Concerning all acts of initiative, there's one elementary truth. So there's one key point. He's going to tell us what that is on the next slide. He said, the ignorance of which. So unless you know what that secret is, it's going to kill countless ideas and splendid plans. And it's this, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. But write this down. And only then. You see, it's not, most people say this, when I figure everything out, then I'll get committed. When I know exactly how I'm going to become a sapphire, or how I'm going to get my club 6, then I will join Viago, or then I will I'll go to an escape. But he says here, wealthy people don't do that. We do the exact opposite of that. We decide what we want, we get committed to that, and we believe that the way will be shown to us. So let me ask you this question for question number 3. On a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to achieve your goals? You see, if you're really committed, I mean, you're going to make this friggin' thing happen. You know what many of you could do? Because I know many of you have jobs and you have other commitments. Get up 1 hour earlier. Heck, that's what I'm doing. It's Sunday night in Toronto, 7:30 here. Tomorrow's my birthday, by the way. And I'm going to work. I don't have to be here. She's not. I'm Canadian. Melanie said to me, "Do you believe in free speech?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Great. Come and give one to my team." A free speech. But I don't need to be here. I don't. there's enough money for me, for my kids, for my grandkids, maybe even enough money for my grandkids. Let me tell you, things are going okay. I don't need to be here. I don't. And after this meeting, I got another meeting, and then between 9 and 3 in the morning, I'm working with my team in Asia. Why am I doing that? Because I'm absolutely committed to doing it, not in words, but in action. On a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to the goal? You know, if you just got up 1 hour early, you'd have 5 hours, Monday to Friday. Just getting up you could easily get up 1 hour earlier. If I told you I would let you use a Learjet for a year, I'd pay the fuel, the maintenance, the pilots, everything. All you got to do is give me 5 hours. Melanie, what could people do if they were following your instructions and gave you and committed 5 hours every week? Guys, that would put you through the stratosphere. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in terms of your commitment? One is, well, if it happens, it happens. 10 is, I am 100% committed. Next, motivation improves with a strong why. So you got to get to the reason you're doing this. I talked to a lady the other day and I asked her, why are you doing this Viago thing? She said, I don't want my kids to have the financial insecurity that I have. That's a pretty strong why, man. If you can connect to that thing over and over and over again, what are you doing this for? Why? Look at this. We don't get burnt out because of what we do. We get burnt out because we forget why we do it. So put in your brain, what is it that you're doing? If you could spend time um, just asking yourself and get focused on what it is that's driving you to this, and answer this question. Number 4, what is the number one why in doing Viago? What's the thing that's propelling you? Is it just making a few bucks? Because that's not going to last very long. I'll tell you, that doesn't do it. You know, I'm 100% committed to helping 100 people make $1 million a year in Viago, and I will not quit until that happens. Number 5, without skin in the game, there's very little motivation. Seriously, you got to be willing to put some skin in the game. What does that look like in our company? Well, at the very minimum, getting inner circle. If you don't have inner circle, man, how could you possibly ask somebody else to do this if you're not doing it? You know, the skin requirement, the money that you need to invest with this is so small that for a lot of people, they don't even treat it like a business. Like, do you know if you bought a donut franchise, could end up costing you 500,000, $1 million? Do you know that you would never, ever make the kind of money you could make in Viago for several years? But because you don't have to pay much for Viago, it tends to be treated like a hobby. So my question to you is, are you a member of Inner Circle? It's $20 a month. Have you picked a regional training to attend yet? Buy the ticket, go to the thing. You got to understand. Kevin McDougall, a diamond within Viago, he said this: 100% of the people who go to a RTE, a regional training event, 100% of the people in his organization who go to one of those are still in the game. So if you want to stay in the game, if you want your people to stay in the game, figure out the money. Now, I know for some of you, look, at money is tight. I get it. When I first got going, Bob Proctor told me I could make in a month what I used to make in a year. I said to him, what have I got to do? He said, you got to come to my seminar. I said, how much is it? You know what he said? $7,500. I'm Canadian. That was US. It was 50% exchange rate at that time. Plus, I had to fly down to California. Plus, I had to pay for a hotel at a Ritz-Carlton hotel for a week. So I said to him, there's no way I can afford that. You know what he said to me? He said, when you're ready to stop living on excuses, buddy, you'll figure out how to get to that class. And I thought, I won't tell you what I said. Listen, I said to him, he's right. You see, I always blamed the government, my paycheck, my bank account. He said, you always have money for things that you really want. And I'm telling you, if you want to go to this class, you'll figure out the money. And I'll say the same to you. You'll figure out where you get the money to go to a regional training. Do whatever you got to do because, my life changed at that one seminar. I told you my income shot from 100,000 a year to 100,000 a month. It was from what I got at that seminar. How much would it cost me not to go? So, are you willing to put some skin in the game? There's lots of opportunities for you to join and escape with us. Many of us are going to Barcelona. I have people flying in from Singapore, from Australia, from Poland to Barcelona. Are you booked on the next one in January in Phoenix? Are you going to, there's another one in Wisconsin. Are you willing to put some skin in the game? So that's question number 5. Am I willing to add some skin? One is, no, I can't. I invested enough in this thing. 10 is, I'll do whatever I've got to do. And even though I don't know necessarily where I'm going to get all the monies from, Tony Robbins said to me, he said, you don't need money. You don't need resources. You need resourcefulness. Because I know this, if one of your children needed an operation and you had to come up with $1,500 tomorrow or in 5 days from now, you know darn well you'd get it. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, am I willing to put some skin in the game? Number 6, and we're bringing this to a close. We'll stop at 9. Mentors motivate if you give them permission. So, this is what I did to Bob. I said, Bob, I give you 100% permission. If you see something in me that's preventing me from achieving in a month what I used to achieve in a year, I give you my permission to let me have it. He did. He was brutal. I'll tell you that. And so if you're working with Melanie or other people in her organization, I think you send them an email and say, listen, I was listening to this crazy guy from Canada. He's got a funny mustache, but he made sense. And he told me that I should give you permission to be honest with me. Listen, I mean, give permission and then they'll help you. I'm not going to argue with you. Melanie's way too busy to spend time arguing with you. It's amazing to me, Melanie, how many people pay me to coach them, but they get mad at me because I coach them my way. I can't coach you your way. Your way's not working. My way is. So I can't coach you your way. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your permission score? What I mean by that is if it's a 1, you're saying to yourself, be gentle with me. I'm a little flower. People are so easily offended today. No way. A 10 is, I don't care what you see. I've told this to Muzaffer and Sherry. I said, I can put up with just about anything from you except this. If you let me go through 2 or 3 months doing something stupid that you know is stupid, but you're afraid to tell me because you're going to offend me, that's the only thing that I'll get mad at you at. I'm giving you permission, and now my expectation is that you're going to take advantage of it. If you tell Melanie or whoever brought you into this organization, look, I'll do whatever you tell me. You got my permission to be straight with me. She'll do it. She's a tough lady. I've seen the military pictures. I mean, this lady knows how to kick ass. I'll tell you that. You don't need a mentor who's just going to be your friend. You need someone who's going to tell you where it's at. Number 7. Is this okay, by the way? Give me a thumbs up if this is making sense to you, any of you. Jennifer, give me a thumbs up. I see you. Thumbs up. Is this making sense? There it is. All right. 2 thumbs up. Good. Okay. Number 7, money machines motivate. So when you start making some money, it motivates you. That's why get your eyes on inviting more people. Get your eyes on getting to Club 6 now. And you may have to get up early. Most of you could easily get up 1 hour early, and that's 5 hours of time that you could devote to this. When you start getting money, and you know what it is? It's a principle that I teach. You might want to write this down. RPE, recent positive experience. So when you have a recent positive experience, especially one that shows up in the form of CASH, it's very motivating. So every wealthy person that I know has money coming in from many, many different places. So you got to ask yourself, and that's question number 7, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are my money machines coming along? Are you doing enough? Are you building the money machine? Are you studying it? I should have done this, but I shared with Muzaffar how I was listening to Matt Morris and Muzaffar at 4:51 a.m. I circled that in my screen capture. I was on Inner Circle at 4:51. And keep in mind, I don't need to do any of this. I'm doing it because I'm committed to helping people achieve what it is that they want. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is, well, I'm not so money focused. Money's not that important. 10 is, I'm on it, man. I'm studying, I'm watching. When you watch, for instance, when you watch Melanie present, don't just listen to what she's saying. Listen the way she presents. Look at how bright and well lit she is. Look how her makeup looks. Guys, you don't have to wear makeup, uh, but look at how perfect. So you should just be not just observing what she's saying, but how she says it. Do you notice every so often I pause like that? Do you ever notice how sometimes I go like this? Because listen, in this business, this is all we got, this little window. And so you want to learn from people who have money machines going because there's little distinctions that make a big, huge difference. So how are your money machines coming along? Are you happy with the growth? Number 8, this is the second to last one, participation motivates. Are you in the game, man? Are you on the calls? When I first started this, every time Muzaffar or Sherry presented the business opportunity, I had my slides open because I knew I had to present this. I had my slides open, and in the presenter notes, I would type in everything they said. And sure enough, a time came when they weren't able to do it, and they asked me if I could. I was ready. You see, participation motivates. You know, when one of the first signs of depression is isolation. People just pull away. But you know something? I'll tell you a quick story. My friend, I'm a former minister, by the way. I don't know if you know that about me or not, but I tell people I'm a recovering Baptist. But I'm a former minister, and a friend of mine told me about somebody in his church. This guy had been a member for his whole life of the church, uh, except something happened and he stopped coming. He couldn't figure out how to get him to come back. He talked to him, he tried to do things for him. Nothing worked. Until one winter day, he was driving by the guy's house because they lived in the same neighborhood, saw the smoke coming out of the fireplace, and he got an idea. Like these guys were best friends. I think they were best mans at each other's wedding. So they knew each other, but he wouldn't go back to church. He saw the smoke and he thought to himself, He goes, he rings the doorbell. The guy opens the door. He does it, my pastor friend, doesn't say a word, goes right to the fireplace, grabs the thing, takes one log that's burning in the fireplace, takes it and puts it on the hearth. What happens to a log that's put by itself on the hearth? It goes up, it stops burning just like that. He doesn't say a word to the guy. He just takes that one, puts it on the hearth, and just stares at it. And within 10 seconds, it was completely extinguished. He turned around and left. The guy was in church next Sunday and has been ever since. Why? Because we burn brighter together. But if you're not offering to do testimonials, if you're not inviting people to the meetings, if you're not studying, if you're not asking questions, get in the game, man. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this is question 8. It's the second to last question. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is my participation level today? Are you on all the business meetings? Even if you don't have anybody there, I would be on them. I've been on many with no guests, but I'm on every friggin' one. I'm doing everything I can to learn this business because it's new to me. If on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is, oh, I'm so busy. I really don't have much time. 10 is, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do. If they need help, like, do you know Melanie was a Viago customer servant? I don't what's it called? I don't forget what the official name is, but she's part of a team that just goes to these conventions to help people for Pete's sakes. She doesn't need to do that, but she's participating. Get in the game. Well, the last one is maybe a little unusual, but I got to tell you this. Law number 9 for motivation. is get a mentor, but understand this, that the tougher the mentor, the quicker the progress. The tougher the mentor or coach, the tougher the coach, the quicker the progress. You see, you don't need look at a good mentor does one of three things. Pats you on the back when you've done a good job, gives you a hug when you need a hug, but also knows how to kick your ass, man. I mean, if you give them permission, I mean, let me tell you, I've done this in my whole life. There have been many times when I was straight with somebody. Uh, uh, in fact, I just noticed there's somebody in this room who I was quite stern with the other day. And she's got a lot more experience than me in network marketing, but she's never made $1 million in a year. She's never done it in a week. She's never done it in a day. So when I confronted her on what I thought was a belief system that was limiting her success, she right away shut up, listened, and put into action what I was saying. Do I know everything? I don't know everything at all. But I'm not afraid to tell you. If you want me to coach you, I'll coach you. But man, oh man. And I learned this through this guy. You know who this guy is? Leland Val Vanderwall. He's Bob Proctor's mentor. He's the guy who turned Bob Proctor around. I hated this guy. He was a brute, man. This guy was, he was, I mean, he was a tough son of a bee, I'll tell you that. But listen to what he said. He said this: the degree to which a person can grow, develop, expand, become wealthier is directly proportional to the amount of truth they can accept about themselves without running away. Think about that for a second. Give them permission and then expect them to tell you the truth, and don't balk if they're not super, super sensitive to you. So the last question is this: on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is, yeah, I'm sort of motivated, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Yeah. 10 is, bring it on, coach. I don't care how much you see in me. If you're going to give me time, I'll take it. And like, do you know that every time I was around Bob Proctor, even though he was my business partner, I had 6 questions in my pocket every time in case I got 2 minutes with him. I pull out my questions. Hey, Bob, what do you think about this? How should I do this? What do you think about that? Is this the way? Always. Uh, are you motivated to be coached? Those are the 9 questions. 1 is, yeah. 10 is, man, I appreciate your coaching. I'll do exactly what you tell me. Don't talk, I'll do. So what I need you to do now is add up those scores. There's 9 of them. You shouldn't have more than 90 points, but I want you just to add up those points quickly. And let me tell you what the legend is, and we'll be ending for tonight. You got a number there? Okay. On a scale, okay, if you scored all those, you added them all up, and you are between 0 and 10, call the undertaker, because you're either dead or you're going to be dead soon. I know none of you here are in that category. But if you scored 11 to 40 in your score, listen, there's hope, but man, you need help. Because motivation is critical, not just for you, but for the people in your team. You can't ask people to do, have, or be something that you're not. If you scored between 41 and 70, you're going to make it, but you really need to double down. There's things and if you look at those questions, you find the one that's the lowest score and start working on that. You get together with the person who invited you, enrolled you into Viago, and you ask them, listen, these 3 are my three scores that were just terrible. I need your help. How am I going to fix that? Now, I suspect most of you here are 71 or above. That means you're a perfect candidate to get the most from a mentor. And that's the beauty of that I see about Viago is you can get mentored by somebody like Melanie, who was one of the top income earners in one of the top companies in the world in this industry. I mean, to be mentored by people like that for free, all you got to do is do. do. See, it's not about learning. It's not about listening. It's not about gathering more information. It's about action. I started off by saying that the mind is a powerful magnet and as such will attract whatever corresponds to its ruling state. What are you thinking about most of the time? That's what you're going to attract into your life. The person that can help you shrink that down considerably. Instead of you taking years, you could literally learn in days if you use these 9 laws of motivation. The biggest one, allow yourself to be coached and mentored by somebody who's not just talking, but who's done it and is doing it right now. So those are the 9 laws. I hope that's been helpful. Those are ideas that I thought about with my friends at Viago, things that I need. I just hope someday I have enough money and coolness to have a hat and glasses like William Green. Dude, I love your hat and glasses, man. Now you don't have a mustache like me, and I know, but you do look really cool, dude. Anyway, I wanted to let everybody know that I'm happy to help you in any way I can. Melanie can get you in touch with me somehow, and I'm happy to do whatever I can to support you. Listen, Viago's real, man. It's gonna work. Now, it's not fast, it's not easy. It takes, but more than anything, it's this. So much of Viago is mindset, not strategy. I mean, strategies, of course, are important, but they got it all here. Your mindset's going to make it for you. So, Melanie, back over to you, my friend.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Gerry. And to be here a day before your birthday, sharing this knowledge, wow, you're just an amazing individual. We're so blessed to have you a part of this organization. And thank you so much for your time. And we'll let everyone unmute and say happy birthday, Gerry.
Happy birthday
Happy
to you.
birthday.
Happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday.
Hey,
Happy birthday.
it's my birthday, but I want to give you all a gift. How about a free copy of my book, The Millionaire Mindset?
I'll take
You
it.
can
Yeah.
go there and download it right now.
Great
Yes,
book.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's a great book, y'all. It's
Oh
All
my
right.
God. Thanks. Oh
Thank
my
you all.
God.
That's awesome.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
God
Gary.
bless everybody. Take care. Have a good night.
Gerry. God
Good
bless.
birthday.
We'll see you in Phoenix.
Tomorrow.
We'll give you a
That's
few more minutes to
amazing.
grab that link in the chat. If you haven't already clicked on it, do so now, because once this recording is ending, we end the call, it will be gone. So
Where is
again,
it?
go to the link in the chat and click on the link, and it will take you straight to down.
I take you right to go. Thank you.
All right.
My
You're so
photo.
welcome. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Thanks,
And
Melanie.
have a great day.
Thank you, Melanie,
Thank you.
for making that happen.